Hey, welcome back. This is Jared with Lightshine 3D Services. We're going to get started. The very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get rid of my nicely drawn vector art here. Since I want to keep it as a reference just in case I really mess something up, I'm just going to nudge it out of the way using my nudge tool. Now I'm going to set my nudge distance to something really small, a 0.01. All right, cool. Now we're going to start with some of these tools. We're not necessarily going to go in complete order here. Roughly, this will be the order. We are going to start with the ellipse tool. So the first thing we're going to do is create an ellipse. If you've never used the ellipse tool, you start by picking a corner, and then you can just draw your ellipse or oval, some people call it. You'll notice that it just lets you draw it however you want. But if you hold down the control key, it makes it a perfect circle. So what we're going to do is just hold down the control key and draw an ellipse. Now, I find it a lot easier if I'll go ahead and fill this with color, some sort of color. Then I can drag this over my image, and it makes it a little easier to see if I'm pretty close to the right size. It just makes everything show up a little bit better. If you want to keep it hollow, you can do that, though. In this case, I'm going to give it just a little bit of color. Let me use this yellow for now. And I'm just going to click on this corner and move it around until I have it just about where I want. Once I think it's pretty close, I'm going to turn off the fill. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and just look at this for a second. Okay, so I'm noticing that it's not, what they had drawn was not a perfect circle. Or this image is not a perfect straight-on shot. So whenever we're doing artwork like this, we have to make a couple of assumptions. Normally that's not a good idea, but in this case we're going to assume that this probably was a circle, a perfect circle. We're going to assume that the majority of this artwork is centered. What I mean by that is this milk bottle is going to be pretty much centered in the circle. This ribbon is going to pretty much be centered on the back of the artwork, back of the circle. And we're going to pretty much keep with that assumption throughout this project. So the first thing that I want to do, if I hold down shift, now that I have it pretty much where I want it, holding down shift and moving this will allow me to size everything together. It'll scale it, the width and height, horizontally and vertically, will scale it at the same time. So that's what I did just then. Now I'm going to copy and paste, so Control C, Control V, and I'm going to hold down Shift and make a smaller one to get the inside of this circle, about right here. Now there's ways that we could get this all grouped together to where we could color in between these. The easiest way, though, is to use this Smart Fill, and where you're going to find that is over here toward the bottom. It may, like, depending on your screen resolution, you may have to add this with this customize tool here. It may not be showing up, or it may be out of your screen view, but it's the Smart Fill tool. I'm going to click on that and just click between my two lines. Now I'm going to change my nudge distance here to 5 and show you what happens. So I'll change it to 5, hit enter. I'm going to nudge it out. Notice that I still have my circles that I drew. I'm going to leave them there for now, but I'm going to nudge this over using 5 as my nudge distance. I'm going to do it 2 clicks over. And that'll let us draw. That's enough room to allow us to draw the entire image and then nudge it over so everything stays perfectly aligned and centered. If I zoom in on this, you can see that it has a hairline or some sort of line. In this case, it's a 0.5 stroke. I'm going to take off the hairline in all of the things that I draw, at least for this project. Okay, so now using the same exact method, I'm going to copy and paste another circle, hold down shift, and I'm going to put it about where the bottom of this star looking thing is. It's going to be close enough for now. And now we're going to get into the star tool in just a little bit. So I'm going to stop this video. If you need to replay it, see what I did there. Highlights here is set your nudge distance to 5, use the fill tool, and then send it over to the right, and we'll be ready for the next step.